good, people? It's randomly late. Reverse rants, no hate. That's what I do. All right, so James Lights Out Toney says, Holyfield, Tyson, y'all coming back? I want it, which makes a whole lot of sense to me. I stated that two back-to-back videos for that reason. That if the legends are gonna come back and fight each other, it's better than coming back um, for one and then just getting elevated to a title shot or fight with a fight with a top fighter and then just to get embarrassed, get knocked out, and then have people take credit away from these younger guys and say, "Oh, in his prime, he would have killed this guy. He would have killed that guy." It's irrelevant to say because if you come back, you're saying, "Hey, I'm in shape. I believe I have what it takes to beat you. You know what I got is better than what you have." So when you lose, for the fans that's sitting here saying that these guys, you know, and preferably Tyson, they're talking about more so than Holyfield and James Toney saying that Tyson would knock out Joshua, Tyson would knock out Wilder, Tyson would knock out Fury. Oh, I know these guys are shaking their boots. Tyson's coming back. He's focused. He's better than ever. We haven't seen any footage of anything that would even make you think that, other than just people or this one trainer big up in Tyson saying Tyson could do this and that. Talk is cheap, man. So at the end of the day, it's a better fit to have 50 plus year old fighters saying, "Hey, I want to fight you." Okay, I want to fight you. You know, Peter Fury, I think he just wants in. He's never fought any of those other guys. You could look at it and say, well, Tyson owes Holyfield one. Does he beat him twice? You can say Holyfield owes James Toney because he beat Holyfield. Or you can look at it and just say, hey, we never got to see James Toney versus Tyson. And even at this age, when neither one of them is what they used to be or close to it, even close to it, it is what it is, man. But that makes more sense. And I'd rather personally I'd be more interested in that than to even see these guys come back and get blown away. Don't forget Holyfield sparred with Andy Ruiz when Holyfield was 40, Ruiz was 19, and Holyfield said, man, I couldn't get away from him. This guy was just kept coming. I couldn't get rid of him. I couldn't slow him down. He said it was very difficult. That sparring match was actually more difficult than the fights he actually had. So imagine he was 40, now he's 57. Ruiz is better now than he was then. So, let's be honest. You really actually picture Holyfield knocking out Deontay Wilder or knocking out, beating Anthony Joshua, beating Fury, beating Joseph Parker, beating Daniel Dubois, even Joe Joyce for that matter. Do you really picture that happening? So I'd have to see it to believe it. Because I don't believe in magic. I don't believe that just because people hype something up that it'll happen. But, so yeah, whatever legends may want to come out of retirement. Bernard Hopkins made a challenge to Roy. Roy accepted, but I haven't heard anything since then. But that makes more sense, man. Imagine Roy Jones. We seen what happened. We seen when Roy fought Bernard Hopkins in their second fight where they both were still past their prime. But Hopkins was able to sustain a higher level at that stage in their careers than Roy was. So we saw what happened when Hopkins fought Kovalev. He had no offense. He basically just went to the ropes, held, barely threw any punches. And that was some years ago. So imagine him coming back, to fight Triple G or one of the Charlos or, any of these guys. And that's for any of them. So let the legends have their lane. And they can say, okay, we never fought. Let's do it now. All right, cool. That to me makes more sense. One of these guys getting there, one of these younger guys. And what I'm saying is we've seen how their careers ended. So what would get you so hyped up to make you think they're going to jump back in here? Holyfield, out of all of them, his career ended better than James Toney's career and Mike Tyson. Overall, he had a better career. But at the end of the day, he's 57, man. A damn near 60-year-old man saying, I'm the heavyweight champion of the world. Imagine that. For any of them. So yeah, Peter Fury, Holyfield, Tyson, Toney, whatever other legend may say, hey, I want to come back to them. Let's all get it on. That is, okay, that could be cool. Maybe that'll happen. That makes more sense to me than like I said, man, these guys coming back and people disrespecting these younger guys, man, talking about they'll knock them out, they'll do this. This generation is trash. All these guys is like, and I think that's like really it's harsh, man, and it's biased. You know, I know one thing I was definitely watching. I was watching a lot of fights. Greg Page, Tony Tubbs, Bone Crusher Smith, Pinkman Thomas. I'm watching all these guys. You know, and people said these heavyweights don't have head movement anymore. It's not just the heavyweights. There's a lot of fighters who just kind of stand right in front of you. But then I'm watching, and I'm like, you know what's funny? Like I didn't have to watch these fights to remind myself. I watched them just to go after fight after fight after fight after fight after fight and see like a lot of these guys that we're talking about was so great didn't move their heads either. And I just named some of them just now. They kind of stood right there in front of you. Razor Ruddock, all these guys just stood right there in front of you. In fact, one of the things that disappointed me in Razor Ruddock fighting Tyson was Razor Ruddock is 6'3", okay? 82-inch reach. And this guy standing here fighting Mike Tyson this close. And it's not, oh, Mike's just so fast, Mike just cut you up. No, that wasn't even the case. He was just standing there negotiating with Mike Tyson, letting Mike come in and dictate the pace in both fights. Got his jaw broke, stopped it in the 7th round in the rematch. The first one went the distance, and I mean, he let this little short guy dictate. And this wasn't and look, Mike Tyson was, and doing this, but no, Razor just fought stupidly. And somebody in the comments said, on somebody's channel, somebody made a comment saying, because someone said Tyson was overrated, and they started naming some of his opponents, and I'm like, yeah, he didn't have great opponents. The way he destroyed guys is what got attention to Mike, and his credibility boosted because of the way he beat guys. Because a guy like Larry Holmes, who was the champ for a long time, was killing it, man. He was that guy. He struggled with guys that Mike knocked out, but also Holyfield had tough fights with guys that like Alex Stewart. Mike killed him 1 round. Stewart gave Holyfield 2 wars, man. So there was different fights, and I honestly, now Tim Witherspoon never fought Tyson, but Tim Witherspoon fought Holmes. I thought Tim Witherspoon beat that fight, and most people did. There's a couple of guys that Trevor Burbick gave Holmes trouble. Quick tells guys that Tyson just beat the hell out of, man. Pinkman Thomas, Bone Crusher Smith, But then again, for these guys that went the distance with Mike Tyson, also, they went into survival mode. Tony Tucker did the best job, in my opinion, out of all of them. He fought back and tried to actually win, but it was like Mike was just better. And the other guys, Bone Crusher just held on all night. Tillis got dropped twice. They were just trying to survive, man. These guys wasn't in here like really just going like trying to really win. They were just trying to not get knocked out. They were in survival mode. And I don't see them as great fighters. They might have, they had fights where they showed the potential to be great, but then it was just like, Tim Witherspoon is one of those guys. One fight he looks amazing. Next fight is he just was off and on, off and on. But yeah, I mean that was dead, man. And like I said, the legends can have their lane. That's cool, man. I'm not saying no, they shouldn't come back. No, I'm saying they shouldn't come back and leapfrog over other people because of popularity's sake. And it's Mike Tyson, but who the hell you think is going to put up like what are they talking about with Joshua versus Wilder or Fury, whatever that purse would be. I think now if they took it out of America, they might be able to take it to Saudi Arabia or somewhere like that, and then it become a huge thing. Something like that could happen, like Mike Tyson's name or even Holyfield, for that matter. I don't think it'll be that big a deal for James Toney. I don't even know. I mean, but who really is gonna put up some really big money for that? Other than, and this fight would just be a spectacle, man, until Tyson gets knocked out. Ain't no way in fuck I see Tyson beating Anthony Joshua or Deontay Wilder or Fury or any of those guys that I named. But at the end of the day, if it happens, it happens. If they come back and the legends get together, um, yeah, make it happen. Make it happen. Make it happen, man. It's only these four names so far that says something. But if you get enough to put a card together where it's just all legends, that'd be cool. Or if you put them on a undercard where it's like, okay, you got a main event, a big main event of current fighters, and then you have legends build up to that. That's cool too, man. But anyway, that's all I want to say on this video, and I will catch y'all on the next one.